Hello everyone, welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today is Friday, February 26th. Going to be talking about some NBA DFS picks today on both DraftKings and FanDuel. But before we get started, we're going to be talking about the picks that we made yesterday, how they turned out. So on the DraftKings side, we had Derrick Rose, $4,600. We were looking for about 23 points out of him. Ended up getting 30.25, so he was definitely a hit. Then at shooting guard, we had Tyrese Halliburton, $6,600, looking for at least 33 points out of him. And he got us 36 points, so he was a hit as well. Bruce Brown, $4,600, looking for about 23 points out of him. Got to 27.5, so he was a hit as well. Al-Farouq Aminu, we're looking for about 18 fantasy points out of him. Got 14.75, so he was a miss, but probably not one that killed you overall. Then at center, we had Joel Embiid. Under $10,000 price tag seemed like a really good price. Ended up with 47.25, just barely a miss. So he probably didn't kill you, but he didn't help you either. Then over on the FanDuel side, we had Lonzo Ball, $6,600. Looking for about 33 fantasy points out of him. He ended up having 38.2, so he's a hit. Seth Curry, $4,000. Looking for about 20 fantasy points out of him. He had 32.6, so he was definitely a major hit. At small forward, this one was the one that really hurt. Will Barton, $5,000. He was going against the Wizards. Seemed like a great matchup. He just couldn't shoot the ball last night. Ended up with 8.3 points, so he was definitely a miss. Hopefully one that didn't tank your team overall, though. At power forward, we had Giannis. He pretty much did what Giannis did. We needed at least 57 points out of him for him to pay off. He got to 58, so that was a hit. And then last but not least, Rashawn Holmes, $6,400. Looking for about 32 fantasy points out of him. Thought he'd play over 30 minutes. I believe he played 28 minutes in this game, so not quite what we were looking for. He ended up with 20.7 points, so he was definitely a miss. But with that being said, that's the quick little recap from yesterday's picks. We're going to get moved over to today's injuries to kind of talk about the new ones that have been popping up. We're going to start with the Indiana Pacers. Pretty much the same as we've been looking at. Jakar Sampson is a game-time decision. He hasn't really been playing anyway, so no major factors there. Boston Celtics get Kemba Walker back today. Otherwise, they're completely the same. Houston Rockets still without Christian Wood and Dante Exum, so they're pretty much all the way healthy otherwise. The Raptors are pretty much the same as they were the last game. The Suns, they do have Dario Saric as a game-time decision. He doesn't really impact things too much. Maybe you see a couple extra backup center minutes go to Frank Kaminsky. Maybe Damian Jones gets in this one if Saric doesn't play, but otherwise I don't really see too much of a change overall. Bulls are exactly the same as they've been for a while now. Then for the Kings, so Jabari Parker's out once again. Hassan Whiteside is now a game-time decision. He was out for the health and safety protocols, so kind of interesting to see him as a game-time decision now. We'll see if he ends up playing or not. Then the Pistons are pretty much the same. The only change is Sadiq Bey is a game-time decision. They also get Jeremy Grant back, who was resting the last time out. Then for the Utah Jazz, same as the last time out. So for the Heat, Avery Bradley's still out. Tyler Hero's a game-time decision. I don't know if he's going to play. I'm just going to assume he's out since he's missed the last couple of games overall. Bam Adebayo is also a game-time decision. I believe his was a knee injury. We'll see if he plays or not. If he doesn't play, might see a little bump up to Kelly Olynyk, maybe even Precious Achiuwa coming off the bench as well. Then for the Atlanta Hawks, we got Cam Reddish, game-time decision once again. He hasn't played the last couple of games. I honestly don't know if he's going to play in this one. I'm just going to assume he's out until we see otherwise. Then for the Oklahoma City Thunder, Al Horford's out for rest today, and then Hamidou Diallo is out as well with an injury. So you could see a little bit more extended run for guys like Isaiah Roby, guys like Mike Muscala, Lou Dort, and Kenrich Williams, maybe even Justin Jackson in a mix in there as well. Then for the Clippers, we got Patterson's a game-time decision. He did miss yesterday. Doesn't make too much of a difference otherwise. Memphis, they do have Tilly down as a game-time decision. We'll see if he plays or not. Shouldn't really change anything, though. Then for the Charlotte Hornets, we got Cody Zeller as a game-time decision. We'll see if he ends up playing. If he doesn't play, Bismack Biyombo could definitely be in play today. P.J. Washington might get some extra minutes at the 5 position as well. Then Devontae Graham's still out. Martin's still out. Golden State is completely healthy, so no worries there. Portland Trailblazers, they're the exact same as they've been lately. Then for the Lakers, they could get Dennis Schroeder back tonight. We'll see if he's back or not. If he's back, definitely hurts Alex Caruso, probably Taylor Horton Tucker as well. But if he does end up playing, I think he's definitely a guy that you could play in this matchup if you need to do so. But that's pretty much it for the injuries for today. We're going to get moved over to DraftKings to talk about my picks over there. So at the point guard position, we got Kemba Walker. $6,200. We're looking for 31 fantasy points out of him. That's exactly what he's averaging on the season. It's a little bit of a pace-up spot for him today. He's coming back after rest. He's been playing over 30 minutes a game. I think he's definitely a guy that can get you that 31 points, maybe even more, closer to 35, just depending on how the game goes. Then at shooting guard, we're going to go back to Tyrese Halliburton once again today. I don't like going back to guys on back-to-back days, but $6,600, his price tag didn't change at all. Still playing big minutes, goes against an easy matchup in Detroit, so should be another good game for him once again. And then even if they get in a blowout, he might play a little bit towards the end, just since he is a younger player. Then at small forward, we got his teammate Harrison Barnes, $5,500. You're looking for about 27, 28 points out of him. He is averaging almost 31 on the season, so definitely a price down spot for him. On a day like today, sometimes you just got to go after these guys who are priced down. And like yesterday, there isn't a lot of value to start off today, but as always, we're going to be watching out for the news as it comes out because there's going to be more value that opens up throughout the day. There always is. Then at the power forward position, I got Gordon Hayward, $6,700. You're looking for about 34 fantasy points out of him, averaging 37.5 on the season. Goes against Golden State, should be a pace-up spot for him. I was a little bit concerned the last game because he had that, because his hand or his thumb was banged up. I can't remember exactly which one, but he still played very well in that game, still played big minutes. So I'm not too concerned about it. I think this is a matchup that you can definitely play him in. Then on the opposite side of that game, we got center Kevon Looney. He's not a sexy name. I know it. He is $3,000. You're looking for 15 fantasy points out of him. You're getting 18 to 20 minutes out of him. You're going to get some rebounds, a little bit of points, hopefully a block or a steal. And at this point in the day, there's not a lot of value. So if you can get a guy that's starting playing 20 minutes for $3,000, that's probably going to get you 18 points. That's a win in my book. This could change throughout the day. Like I said, there's always going to be more value coming out. But if you go with these 5 guys that I have here, you're going to have $22,000 left over. Just over $7,300 per player remaining. So you can definitely pay up for a stud player like a LeBron James, a Domantas Sabonis, Damian Lillard, Steph Curry. There's definitely lots of guys you can pay up for on this slate. I think there's definitely going to be lots of value that opens up later in the day to unlock even more of these high value players. And with that being said, we're going to get moved over to FanDuel, talk about our picks over there. So on the FanDuel side, we got point guard LaMelo Ball, $7,600. You're looking for about 38 fantasy points out of him. Kind of like I talked about with Gordon Hayward over on the Draft Kings side. Goes against Golden State. Should be a pace-up matchup. Still no Devontae Graham. It's a pretty good price tag for him overall. I think he's definitely a guy that can get you the 38, 40 points that you need out of him today. Then shooting guard, we got Lou Dort. I didn't like his price king on DraftKings quite as much, but he is a guy that I like on FanDuel for $4,400. You're looking for about 22 fantasy points out of him, averaging 21 on the season. There's no Hamidou Diallo in this game, so he should play a couple more minutes. And for a guy like Dort, that's really all he needs to pay off in this situation. It is a matchup going against the Hawks that's probably a little bit of a pace-up spot as well. So you could see him get an extra steal or an extra assist or an extra rebound in this game as well. And on a day like today where there's not a lot of value at that shooting guard position starting off, he's a guy that I would definitely consider. Then we're going to move over to small forward. And this is probably not another sexy name, and it's Doug McDermott. Like I said, in the last time the Pacers were out, it was their first game back in a while. He played pretty well, played decent minutes. You're only looking for about 22 fantasy points out of him, averaging 20 on the season. Part of that time he was coming off the bench. Now he's in that starting lineup. I think it's a pretty good matchup for him overall. I don't have many concerns with him, and until more value opens up throughout the day, he's definitely a guy that you want to consider. Then we're going to move down to power forward, and I got Royce O'Neal here. Another name that comes up a lot today for power forward on FanDuel is going to be Isaiah Roby. And I believe both these guys are $4,600. At that price point, you're looking for 25 fantasy points out of them. My one concern with Isaiah Roby is he is going against Clint Capella. I don't think it's a matchup that's too favorable for him overall. And Royce O'Neal, I do like here. We kind of talked about Bam Adebayo being banged up. If he's banged up, you're starting Kelly Olynyk. I don't know who else they're going to move into that starting lineup at that point in time, but I think it's a matchup that could favor Royce O'Neal. He's a guy that if you follow my channel already, I like playing him when his price is down. So $4,600, definitely a fair price there for him. Then we're going to move over to the center position with Clint Capella. And he's $8,200. You're looking for 41 fantasy points from him. And like I said already, he's playing against Isaiah Roby and Mike Muscala. And that's going to be a very, very good matchup for him. Don't be surprised if he has a monster day, and he's very, very capable of doing that. So if you go with these 5 guys that I have here, you'll have $30,800 left over. Exactly $7,700 per player left over, so you definitely have room to pay up for some studs and then pay down for some other value plays as they open up throughout the day. But once again, these are my DFS picks for DraftKings and FanDuel for today, February 26th. Once again, I will be leaving all the news as it comes out throughout the day down in the comments. Going to be leaving all the starting lineups down there as well. Definitely be sure to check that out throughout the day as news comes out. I'm definitely going to do my best to keep you guys as updated as possible. But once again, if you guys have any questions at all regarding NBA DFS, please do not hesitate to ask me. I'm definitely here to help you guys out. But with that being said, if you guys are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. It really helps build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, and that's really one for you, the viewers, helping you guys with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you guys with your fantasy football teams, talking all the different football news as it comes out this offseason. There's going to be lots of news regarding NFL free agency, cap casualties, NFL draft. I'm going to be covering it all. If there's anything particular that you would like to see, just let me know. And then as we move forward into baseball season, definitely going to be covering some fantasy baseball and some baseball news as well. And with that being said, if you are a new or current subscriber who's yet to do so, also hit that notification down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. And like I've been saying, post up daily NBA DFS videos. Then later today, I'll be doing one of the NFC bold prediction recap episodes as well. Just finished that slideshow last night. Going to be going through the predictions that I had going into the season and how it turned out. But with that being said, that's all I really got for today's video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed. Hopefully you do very, very well in NBA DFS tonight. And if you guys have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. Once again, I am definitely here to help you guys out. And last but not least, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me. I want to give a little bit of a shout out to those people that have subscribed since I started doing the NBA DFS. Definitely seeing a little uptick there. Definitely appreciate each and every one of you. And with that being said, I hope each and every one of you has a great, great rest of your day.